Wichita, Kansas, where they ended, and there's a cardinal there, with 7 inches for the storm. Now, here's the way it's stacking up for the Ohio Valley. 1 to 3 inches as close to us as about Trimble County and Bedford, Indiana. 4 to 7 in the Indianapolis area, and even 8 to 12 inches of snow can be expected across the northern third of the Hoosier State as well as the southern Great Lakes area. Wet roads generally to the east and south of Louisville, but some of these...
Weekend Gardener Fred Wiche shows us how.
As a general rule, I don't like to repot indoor plants during the wintertime. That stimulates new growth, and this is the time of year they like to rest a little bit. But when it comes to your holiday plants, especially those that are now finishing blooming, like the Christmas cactus or the Thanksgiving cactus, this is a good time to repot them to get them ready for another season. This is a Thanksgiving cactus. You can tell it by the pointed leaves. The true Christmas cactus has a much more rounded leaf, a scalloped leaf. This is one called Golden Sands. It's the first yellow ever developed, although you have to use your imagination to see yellow in it, but it is there. In repotting it, I remove it from the container and look at the root ball. If the roots are all matted around the outside, as is the case here, I take a knife and cut through. I score it. That will open up that root ball. It'll get the roots growing out again rather than a circle around it. Then use a container one size larger. Don't put it in a great big container. And use some real good potting material, pot it up, and you're ready for another year. Now, when it comes to the poinsettia, that's a little bit different. And if you want to report on how to get the poinsettia to bloom again next Christmas, just send me a stamped self-addressed envelope here at WHAS, Post Office Box 1084, Louisville 40201, and I'll get it off to you in plenty of time to get your holiday plants ready for next year. I'm Fred Wiche, the Weekend Gardener.
Chuck Taylor's off tonight, and he'll be sorry he missed all these interesting weather developments, but Gary Rizzo has been tracking the storm all afternoon, and you literally have to keep changing your forecast according to the whims of the storm.
Well, I look at key cities where I don't have to, keep amending the forecast to speak, but now there has been a change in the lower Ohio Valley. Strong southerly winds are developing, which will mean that we're going to get mostly rain from this storm system. And I will explain that as we go on. But before we get all rain, we're going to see a mixed bag. And here's the preview forecast for tonight, calling for rain, sleet, and snow. Between now and about 8 o'clock tonight, temperatures will go no lower than 35. But tomorrow, the entire area will see flurries. Temperatures will actually drop below freezing. And then tomorrow night, we will see flurries with a very cold low of 25. Here's the color radar from the National Weather Service, and I want to point out that the yellows and golds is where it is sleeting right now on both sides of the river, and this area of precipitation is racing northeast at 30 miles an hour. It is snow and sleet north of the river, rain and sleet south of the river, but it is going to be passing through fairly quickly, and secondary roads could get slippery, but later tonight it is raining, and the temperatures are rising in southwestern Kentucky. Now we go to the action scan portion of the map sequence, and here's what the storm looks like from the satellite view, as it is just scooping up warm air now into the Ohio Valley, but there's cold air in the Mississippi Valley. Temperature 28 at Indianapolis, 4 inches of snow now in the past 4 hours, and 7 inches of snow in the past 8 hours in St. Louis with 31. The 38-degree temperature has now changed to 40, and it's 52 down in Nashville. Right now, we're at 38, so it looks like mainly wet. The humidity is 70%, and we do have that important southerly wind at 9 miles an hour. So we're at the high for the day, and last night's low 28, and of course we will see those precipitation totals change. Now, the big storm system, as expected, is tracking to the west and then to the north. Here's the entire situation, the snow and white, the rain-snow line at the Ohio River, but the whole system now is tracking to the north, and then there's not much happening elsewhere. All the energy, the big weather news is in the Mississippi Valley, and you can see that high-pressure system out in the west, and tomorrow we'll still be under the influence of this storm, and I'll explain that as we go through the forecast once again in a little more detail. Look for rain, sleet, and snow turning over to all rain before going over to snow flurries, if you can understand that. So temperatures will drop to 35 eventually, and tomorrow, though, it will be simpler. Windy, colder with flurries, falling temperatures to near 30. Tomorrow night, continued windy and colder with more flurries, a low of 25. Now, in the extended outlook, an inch or less is likely here. We could get an inch of snow, a high of 25, but fair and warmer by Tuesday with a high of 42, and that is the topsy-turvy weather.
I know you'll be following